If you've got a rider in your life that you've got to pick the best gift for them, just in time for Black Friday, I've got the best list for you to choose from. These are the things I wish someone would have sent to the non-riders in my life that didn't know what to gift. Starting out with the $10 to $40 range. First one is a tire plug kit. As you can see, I haven't even opened it. Well, not really. Haven't had to use it yet. But according to some YouTube videos, it's pretty simple. It's only $10. It can really save your butt in a pinch. So great cheap gift for a rider that, especially one that likes to crush a lot of miles, or maybe doesn't have AAA, or just wants to fix their own thing. The second one, only about $20 to $30, are some earplugs. Now, the thing about foam earplugs is that if you're riding for a very long day, I'm talking like not commuting, not just a mountain ride here and there, like you are trying to crush a lot of miles and you're going far. Maybe you're on a cross-country trip, or you're going to Sturgis, you're going to Key West. That kind of rider needs to protect their hearing. Once you lose it, you can't get it back. And the foam earplugs really hurt after a while. So what you can do instead is use silicone earplugs. I really like these by Loop. You can get them in like -18 decibels, -24 decibels. These are a -18 decibels, and I can still hear my Cardo. I can still hear my music and my directions into the helmet, and I can wear these all day and they don't hurt. There's also these by Eargasm. These actually hurt my ears a little bit compared to the Loop earplugs, but I think they're a little bit quieter, so they may be better for your hearing. And if maybe you don't have tiny ear holes like I do, then that'll help. But the Eargasm ones, they come in this little container. You can just screw that on, you got a little key ring. The Loop, they come in this little thing. You can get it in all different kinds of colors too. I don't know why that matters so much, but that's a very valuable investment. And if you also have never worn earplugs before and you don't think you need them, if you find yourself getting headaches a lot, especially on a long ride, and if you've already ruled out maybe you're drinking plenty of water, try putting earplugs in. Worked for me. This next one you can get for about $20 to $30 on the cheap end, but I don't think I totally recommend that. And I'll tell you why, but I'll also tell you why it's still in the $10 to $40 gift category. And that's a water bladder with a backpack. So this one from Revit is $90 right here and $220 right here. But the riders I know that have used it a lot across thousands of miles really swear by it, because what happened was I got a cheap one off of Amazon, and it wasn't that long before it started leaking and it was unusable. So that is a problem. So if you want to be cheap, just know you get what you pay for, but it is an available option. I actually don't use a backpack much because, I mean, my back just hurts. I really like just taking a Berkey bottle. It comes with a filter inside, so you can literally fill this with tap water everywhere you go, and you got free water, which seems like a weird thing that it's not that easily available. But yeah, free drinking water. If you don't know about Berkey filters, just look them up online, and if you're into that kind of stuff, it's kind of amazing how much they can actually filter. And these are actually like $46. So this next gift is in the $20 to $30 range, and super important, especially if you're a rider doing a lot of miles in a day, and that's merino wool socks. You can get, these are light enough for the summer, and these are thick enough for the winter, and they also have some cushion and extra padding. And actually these are ski socks. But the thing about wool socks, besides just compression socks, like having that circulation is such a big help, especially if you're not good about taking your breaks and stopping and getting the blood flowing. Some people want to just ride till the tank is dry, but I'm like, don't you want to take care of your body? But what can happen is if you are just wearing cotton socks or any kind of athletic socks, don't ask me how I know, but the bacteria in your feet, you don't realize how much you may be sweating all day. And it can get really gross. But merino wool helps with that. And also some athlete's foot spray. And maybe just taking your shoes off and switching to sandals when you're at a gas station anytime you take a stop. Personally, I mean, socks are just a classic Christmas gift, and personally, I love getting socks. I think they're great. There's also freeze out socks. If you've ever heard of freeze out, they're a liner you can wear that's basically has like this plastic liner, but it makes it so that there's like no airflow, which you're not gonna want when it's warm, but it's really good for when it's cold. You can buy them on Revzilla, you can buy it in balaclava, in pants, shirt, but I've got the socks for them and I don't know where they are right now, but those are good too if you just wanted to convert your summer socks to be warm for a very, very cold morning. And this one is only $35. This little thing is amazing. It's a disc brake lock, but it's not just any disc brake lock. So this isn't the original. Actually, I think I have the original. 1 second. Yep, I do. So this was the first one I had, and I got it again, the exact same brand because of this. I locked the bike I was actually borrowing, left the keys at home, and I had to call a locksmith because I couldn't get home. I couldn't ride the bike where I was while out camping with this on it. And when the locksmith came up, he's like, oh, I've taken plenty of these off. It'll be off in 15 minutes. It took him 2 hours and broke 3 of his drill bits. And he said this was the strongest lock he had ever had to break off. He's like, what brand is this? And finally he had to take out like his heaviest power tools in order to finally just cut it. When I posted that video, everyone was like, locks picking lawyer something. He could get in it quick, but you know, we don't all have that skill set, and luckily thieves don't either. They're not watching his channel. They're watching Max Wrist. Get yourself this kind of disc lock brake. It's only $35. I'll have it linked down below as well. And this will literally save your butt. It's just a bubble seat. And this one is actually for cruisers. They also comes in shapes for a sport bike, but my Triumph Tiger, it's got the most uncomfortable seat ever. Like within 30 minutes, my butt's hurting. But this completely saves it. Like I can do as many miles as I can physically do with this thing. The trick is to not pump it up all the way, but you'll get like a little air pump and you just wrap it under your seat, and it's incredible. So this specific brand, they're Max Smile. I don't see them anymore, but I found one that looks just like it on Amazon, so I'll link to that one down below. Everything that I'm showing you, I've used myself, or if I haven't, I'll let you know someone else who recommended it to me. And it's something I can seriously vouch on across thousands of miles of road trips, over 8 years of riding, commuting, long distance riding across the country and back to Sturgis, to Key West, on adventure bikes, baggers. Now, this next one, I'll link to down below how you can enter a sweepstakes to win a 2024 Street Glide. I talk about that more in my most recent road trip to Sturgis video, but it's only $25 to enter. And they're doing the drawing on Christmas Eve, so you could either throw that into the gift basket with the person that you want to give this to, or just give them a sweepstake and say, sorry if you won or sorry if you didn't. But if you didn't win, at least it's going to a good cause. 100% of profits go to the Medicine Wheel Ride. And if you want to learn more about them, I'll link to them down below, or you can watch my most recent road trip to Sturgis video. Okay, so in the $10 to $40 range, I'm going to give you my top pick. And as a rider, the one of these things that I would value the most, say, whether I was a commuter or a long distance rider, would be socks. I love getting gifted socks. I'll use them. And whenever you're cozy, comfortable, warm, you'll remember the person that gave them to you. Okay, so now we're entering the $50 to $150 range. So for about $50 or $75, depending on the pack that you get, if you've ever noticed what looks like a pocket or a bandana covered bun on the back of my helmet while riding, that's what this is. You tuck your hair inside your helmet and it just keeps your hair from getting tangled. Let me show you. You can put it across multiple helmets easily. You get these clips in your packet and you can get multiple ones of them. And I can definitely attest, as someone who has tried just about every possible hairstyle I could on road trips, this is probably the best thing for preventing knots. I haven't seen anyone do it on a beard in the front, but I feel like you could. If you do, send that to me. I'd love to see that. Yeah, you could easily fit that right there on the front. Next is a portable tire pump. This right here, this is it. I bought this while I was on my cross-country trip, and luckily I needed it the very next day. Just riding across country with all the elevation changes, leaving early in the morning, riding all day. Temperature changed a lot. And this little thing, it's so easy. And I don't know why, it doesn't look like it would work. Like, it doesn't look like something like this would put air in your tire, but it does. And you can set the exact tire pressure that you want. So last time I set it was at 36. You just set it, press your little button, and it'll go. It's amazing. And then you charge it by USB-C or USB apparently. Oh, right over here. I love this thing. This next thing, depending on what you get, can range anywhere from $12 to $100. And that's base layers. You can get thin base layers for a one-piece leather suit, just to help it be easier to put on and off. You can also get base layers for warmth. And these are kind of like the freeze out I was talking to you about earlier, where it's just like, it has this like windbreaker material inside. But what I like about this specific one is that you can take the sleeves off. So you can have a vest if all your layers are getting your armpits just feeling overstuffed. But I've got the jacket and I've got it in pants form, and I've got a balaclava of it. It was a big help. It's just really, really helpful for staying warm when you are riding cold temperatures. This next one can range anywhere from $80 to $220. Again, depending on which specific ones you get. And that's heated gear. So if your rider that you're gifting to is a commuter, something just battery powered is probably great, because battery powered, depending on how high you keep it, it'll last a couple of hours, which is plenty for a commute, maybe enough for a day of mountain riding once it gets warmer in the middle of the day. So I started out with battery powered heated gloves and a battery powered shirt. At first, when I first started using these, I didn't think it'd work because you only feel the heat on like a spot on your back. I'm like, how's that gonna heat my whole body? But I think it's just like, it heats up the blood circulating there, and then that warmer blood goes through your whole body, I think is how it works. But it's got different settings too. You can kind of see the different colors. Can you see the light? I don't know. Yeah, you can kind of see it. But that's been huge. But if you are gifting a long distance rider, someone who wants to ride all day, no matter the weather, battery power ain't gonna cut it. They're gonna need something that they can actually plug into their bike. So that's what I used on my cross-country trip. I had this jacket and pants and gloves from Hotwire, and they all plug in together. You can even tuck in your wires so you're not, if this is like your only jacket, you're not walking around looking like an android. But this is from the sleeve, and you just plug it in to your gloves, and the jacket plugs into the pants, and all that plugs into the bike. And if you are doing these multiple things, oh, and there's also, you can also get heated socks and heated insoles for your feet as well. But I find that when I had all this heated stuff, my feet stayed warm too. It's like that warm blood was going everywhere. But make sure you get a Y splitter, because that's how you're gonna be able to plug in both the jacket and the pants into the bike. Because I misspoke earlier. I think I said plug into the jacket into the pants, and that's not right. This is a lifesaver. This is good. I'm telling you. Heated gear is a life-changing thing. And then this next one, depending on the model you get, you can get it as cheap as about $100, and it can go as high as about $500. I have the mid-range one, which is like $300, but based on the features I use, which is just music and listening to navigation, I probably would have been fine with the $100 one. And that's a comm system. So I have a Cardo, although it was really nice being able to connect to my editors on our most recent road trip with Maria and Whitney. So maybe it is good I got the $300 range, but you just wire it into your helmet and you put in the headphones inside, your cheek pads, but it stays on great. I mean, it's magnet plus clip. I've used mine through coastal flood warnings, dust storms, high wind advisories, strong enough to knock down semis, temperatures ranging from freezing to well over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, and it's still going strong. So my favorite in this $50 to $150 range is heated gear, 100%. If you only get one thing for your rider, I would say a heated jacket. If they're a commuter, you can get away with a heated shirt that's battery powered. And that should be enough to also keep their hands warm. But if they're a long distance rider, definitely get them a wired jacket at least. Okay, so now we're entering the $150 to $300 range. So this one's about $150 and this one's about $180. This is the Moto 7 and this is the Moto 9. This is your little secret agent. This one time at my shop, the owner said, you see that bike parked outside? That was originally stolen. And the owner had a GPS tracker inside the bike, tracked down the thief, pulled his gun on him, disclaimer, don't do that, had him wait until the police came. So he got his bike back. Disclaimer, I'm not recommending anyone to go after a thief themselves, but that was an interesting story. So what you can do is you can have a portable GPS hidden amongst your bike. Put it in there somewhere. And the older one that costs a little bit less has 2 AA batteries and it's a little bigger, as you can see. The newer one charges by USB-C and it's a little smaller, but you'll also get a fob so that you can basically connect this and use their app and get multiple ones and name them after each of your bikes and hide them across your bikes. Anytime your bike moves, you can also change the sensitivity of it. At first I had mine set to a really sensitive setting, and one time I just took the seat off and my key wasn't nearby and it called me thinking my bike was being stolen. So you can change that, but you can literally track the real time of where your bike is being hauled off by some thief if it's taken away from you. So that's nice. So this next one is a 2-part one and it's gonna be about $200 total, again, depending on which you get. And that's the Peak Design phone mount and cover. I currently have the cover being used on my phone, which I'm recording this with. So the cover can range around $40 to $60 and the mount can range around $100 to $160 if you get the one where you can charge your phone on it wirelessly. So if you're wondering why spend $100 on a phone cover or $160 on a charging phone cover, let me tell you why. Don't do what I did, and that's to get a cheap phone mount off of Amazon, because what can happen is the lack of a vibration dampener on the cover can ruin the camera lens in your phone. And what happened to my phone is that the lens basically, it got like stuck in this vibrating mode and it could never focus. And especially at the time, almost all my videos were being recorded on my iPhone, so I couldn't have that. And Peak Design has a really incredible technology for their vibration dampener to try to prevent that from happening. Kind of like the Cardo, it's both a magnet and a clip. And this is the one where you don't charge. And the one where you do charge, it looks pretty much the same. There's just a wire that goes through that you have to plug into your bike. They have all different kinds of mounts where you can mount it on your bike's mirror or your bike's bar end. It's pretty cool. So this next one is about $200. This one could be a little fickle because you really got to know your rider's riding style, personal style, and their bike for this. And that's some engine guards. So for a long time, I was very afraid of dropping my bike because anytime I did, there was damage that would put my bike out of commission or cost me a lot of money. And maybe it was something simple like a broken lever. And it just made me really afraid to practice skills, or it just made riding more anxious. But once I got crash protection on my bike, I felt invincible. I practiced so many U-turns. I'm up to like well over 20,000 U-turns at this point. I've become a way better rider than I ever thought I could. I've learned how to pick up my bike, all because I overcame this fear of dropping my bike because it was protected. The ones I use that I can tell you I have tested a lot is SW Motec. So I'll link to those down below, and just make sure that the rider you're getting this to, they may like it or they don't already have it, and it actually fits their bike and model. So this next one is $170, and it's something that I get asked about, what is that, on my channel more than anything, well before they ever became a sponsor. And that's the brake-free light. You put it on the back of your helmet, it flashes when you're stopping or slowing down, wire-free. These little clips makes it so that you could put it across multiple helmets. Comes in white and black, and this is the old one. Let me see you what they did. Some some of y'all complained and they listened. Would you get out there? Here's the new one, here's the old one. The main difference is, see the buttons? The button on the new one is a little bit taller, so that makes it easier to press with your gloves. And it now charges with USB-C, 80% faster as well. That one I do have a discount code for you too, so. This next one is around $200 to $300. This one I'm honestly very concerned that more people, I feel like every rider should have this. If you wear sunglasses or glasses while you ride, please, for the love of all is holy, use shatterproof sunglasses or glasses. That can shatter near your eye in an accident. I already know of at least 2 ladies. One of the girls, a piece of glass went into her skull and the other one in her eye. So Flying Eyes makes glasses that are shatterproof, and the temples are super thin and flexible, so they fit in a helmet really comfortably. And they come in all different kinds of colors and styles, and you can do polarized or non-polarized, prescription or non-prescription. This is one that I really wish more people knew about and more people would make sure to get for themselves. That something that you may ride with and not even realize how dangerous it actually is. So this next one is about $250, and that is a helmet cam, or you can put it wherever really. Whether you want to use this as a dash cam or you want to use this just to save some memories. I've got the DJI Action 4. So many YouTubers are switching to this action cam over the GoPro because the GoPro it's just so glitchy. There's so many problems with it. I think they were like the only action cameras for so long that they didn't bother trying to improve. But then DJI has just come in and just been dominating. They do so much to make everything streamlined and easier across all their different cameras, mics, and everything. So if your rider is a little more artistic or likes to maybe make home videos or wants to post videos on YouTube, they might be really into this. And this is a great place to start before getting the whole line of DJI stuff. I'm not gonna get into too much into cameras in this video. Jake's on Spite's Corner has a gift list that I'll link to down below as well. But he's one that has switched all of his stuff to DJI, and he's classically trained, so he knows what he's doing. And he'll be doing a super extensive breakdown on his channel, I think not until 2025, about all the different DJI stuff. And if you get an action camera and you want to put it on your helmet, you're also going to want a chin mount for it. This is only $40. I have a discount code for this as well though. But you can select your chin mount based on your helmet's make and model. So I even have one for my Arai XD4. See how this one is? And look how much chunkier this one is for my Arai Corsair X. I gotta glue it again. So it has this profile. If you stuck it directly to the helmet without this angle, it's at a weird angle. So they even got that right. So my favorite in this $150 to $300 range, I would say, are a good pair of sunglasses. I've tried using just some nice Maui Jims under my helmet, and I was so proud of myself for finally going polarized. But just a lot of sunglasses temples, they just hurt in your helmet. Some helmets have slits for them, but some don't. So it's just really nice with how thin the Flying Eyes temples are. Can't even feel it in your helmet. It's incredible. And I really wish more people would get on that, because I'm worried about a lot of your eyes watching you with your fancy sunglasses that are not shatterproof. Okay, now this is for my richy folks that really want to gift their rider something big. $500 plus in this range. But the stuff in this section is not just expensive, it's also good. So listen up. The first is an airbag vest. Have you heard of one before? Not a lot of people know about them, not a lot of people ride with them, but according to this article by the Johnson and Gilbert law offices, they can reduce injuries up to 60 to 80%. And what it'll do is they just expand on impact. Just keep in mind, it does take some room, so it's kind of hard to fit under a jacket unless that jacket's got a lot of room. So you almost want to go a size up so that it can go over your jacket, or you're just making sure you're putting it under a loose jacket. But this particular model is $600. Another really good one is a dash cam. It's a little more expensive than the DJI. This is about $500, but I think it's worth it as a dash cam, and here's why. So you wire this onto your bike, you put it on the front and the back, and as soon as you turn on your bike, it starts running and recording. Like you can just set it and forget it. I mean, if you get in a single accident where someone is being dishonest, it already pays for itself. Luckily, I haven't needed to do that, but if I do, I'll be ready. And this one has a phone app, so you can even like review your footage directly from your phone, highlight things, save things, make sure they don't get overwritten. And to be honest, this was just gifted to me, but I don't necessarily know or think that this is the best dash cam you can get. So if you find another one, you'll probably be just fine. But I'll link to this one down below anyways. So another one, and this can also kind of work as a dash cam or for your artistic rider in your life, and that's a 360 camera. So the nice thing about this is that it literally records 360 views for you. And I don't know how they do this, but you put it on a stick that can extend pretty far. And with that, you can attach it on your bike, on the handlebars, or if you've got a naked bike, it's much harder to find places that you could put this on. But if you've got engine guards or Harley bagger, there's just so many places that you can attach this. So you can get views that look like someone is just following you on the side, someone is following you on the front. You can even get a kind of a bird's eye view on you. It's insane. Somehow they do it where you can't see the selfie stick in the shots. The editing for it can be kind of a huge pain because you literally have to drag the spot of where you want the camera to be. Like, do you want it to point at the sky? Do you want it to point at the ground? Do you want it to point on you? There are some things that you could do, like you can click on yourself in the footage and have it like follow you, but you gotta let the whole clip play if you want it to follow you for the 20 minutes that it's been recording. So that can be a bit of a pain. So the battery can run out kind of quick and your SD cards can fill up pretty quick. So when I use this, I don't use it as a dash cam because of that, but I'll use it for quick clips to get some more artistic shots because I don't have a film crew. TBD. Now that Maria and Whitney are on board coming on road trips, that may be different. And the next one can be about $900, but it can be kind of a tricky thing to get for someone because it's a helmet, and helmets can be very particular about the person's head shape that it fits, the size you might not know. But let's say maybe the person already has the helmet, they love the helmet and you know it, and all they want is to update it because they say you should replace your helmet every 5 years. If you open up your liner, you can usually see the date inside. Another thing you could do is you could just get creative and print out a little gift certificate off of like Microsoft Word and say that you're gonna take them to Cycle Gear and buy them the nicest helmet you could find. And this is one of the best quality helmets that I could get for myself back when I did. Oh, well, I should check the year on this actually, come to think of it. But Billy Crash Helmets is a site that has a lot of info on which helmet is the safest or the best for you. But at the end of the day, it also depends on like what fits your head shape. So I would say proceed with caution if it comes to gear and helmets. But if you really know your rider well, it could be really, really good gift. There is a very big difference in how injured a person is after an accident on the quality of the helmet, and the cheap helmet is not always safe. And if you're trying to go a little lower budget, I had an Icon Armada, was actually my first helmet. I have it here, well, I have half of it here for a YouTube video that never became a YouTube video. But Icons, you can usually get them around $200, and some people say you're not really compromising as much on safety with Icons. So as long as they fit your rider's head, they may not be a bad choice. But again, I'm not a gear expert. The best that you can do is, I would say, literally go into a Revzilla or a Cycle Gear, and the people there are usually very, very trained. Even the Revzilla customer service, the gear geeks, they are so heavily trained on all the gear that they have and can really direct you on what's the best thing for you, for your body type, for your riding style, for your budget. A lot of times I get people emailing me, what's the best helmet? What's the best jacket? And at the end of the day, I really don't know. It's not something I'm trained in. I know what I wear, and I've only worn so much stuff. So the best thing is just going directly to these companies if you have any questions. This next one, depending on what you get, can be anywhere from $500 to $1,000. And this one is good, let me tell ya. That is a mini bike. You can literally buy a mini bike off of Amazon, and you can get a bike in a box. I mean, how cool would it be to have a bike in a box under your Christmas tree? I got a mini bike off of Amazon. There was one that I got in person, but I did see the same model off of Amazon. Bikes and Beards, they've gotten a ton of bikes off of Amazon. It's a thing, you can do it. It's kind of a pain because if you don't like to build stuff, because you do have to build it usually, but that's a pretty cool gift. And for number 25, this one just makes life easier. Just get them a gift card. If you don't know where to get a gift card to, I would say Revzilla, Cycle Gear, J&P Cycles. You can check to see if any of those are near you, and those places have motorcycle gear. So even if you don't know what to get them, your rider will probably love to go shopping in any of those stores. And you can also get creative with it. You can go online, go on canva.com and design a cool certificate and just say whatever your budget is on there and what you want to gift them. So another thing you could gift them is like training. If you have an MSF campus near you, you can go to msfusa.org, put in your zip code. You can find if there's training campuses near you. And maybe a rider in your life wants to sign up for the basic rider course again, or any of the advanced courses that they offer, or one of the dirt bike courses that they offer. So my favorite in this $500 range, I would say is probably the one that would give the best peace of mind is the dash cam, that $500 dash cam I showed you. But probably the one that would really be the best for them if they use it is the thing. That's something like you gotta remember to do is actually wear it, is your airbag vest. I mean, to reduce someone's injuries is huge. And if you're still not totally sure of what to get, I link to everything that I wear, all my gear, even my riding equipment in almost all of my video descriptions. You can also check on my website. I have gear that I recommend there for the rain, for the winter, for night riding. Although I don't have a discount code for you for Revzilla and Cycle Gear and J&P Cycles, I do have a discount code for you for one of the coolest motorcycle clothing brands, and that's Pando Moto. All their stuff is really stylish and it fits really well, but it's also just constructed super well. And they have a lot of like really unique touches in them. For instance, this looks like a regular hoodie, right? But you can see it's got two zippers, so I can either zip it here and have this like mesh material, or if I want to be warmer, I can zip it on the second one and cover that area. And what's really cool is that a lot of their hoodies come with slots so you can put armor in them. So you can see this one has a spot where you can put your back armor. This like super nifty, comfortable back armor that goes in it. And I just got these gloves and these pants I'm wearing, and I've had these black pants from them for years. They just have really cool looking gear. And that one I do have a discount code for you. You can use code Doodle for 15% off their whole site. Black Friday's coming up, so I'm not sure if my discount code will apply for everything that's on sale, but you can try it, let me know down below. And also blog posts on my cross-country trips and other things where there's a bunch of links there as well. If anything, I hope you've got some better options now than you did before, so good luck. Oh, look at her. Just look at her. Her face is in my armpit.